Manchester City. All the balls that have been scored by Haaland, they used to come from the midfield. And when the midfield is off, switched off by Declan Rice, switched off by Jorginho, switched off by Odegaard, you don't expect any goal.
And I like
from
the
these
word you're
guys.
using.
It is true.
Switching
It is true.
off. Switching
They switch them off. They outsmarted
Switching them off.
I'm talking
Switch
of
them off.
switching them off.
Arteta is a master.
It's not Arteta.
Arteta is a master.
Man City had no option.
Switch them off.
Who had the switch?
Arteta.
No, it is not Arteta.
Put it on Declan Rice. Put it on Jorginho.
Look here.
Put it.
Lewis.
Switch them off.
Lewis.
Yes.
Kovacic.
Switch them
You expect
off.
them
Switch them
to
off.
come out and smart Declan Rice. You switch them
Why are
off.
you not mentioning Bernardo Silva?
No, Bernardo Silva was playing on the flanks. He was
Why
not
not
even
mention-
assistant.
Hi guys, welcome to the Football Fans Clan, the weekend roundup show. Okay, today I have two of my clansmen here, starting from the far end.
Enock Nkoma.
Lawrence Atianye. Yes.
Daniel Lawrence and Mukoma Enock. The last time I was here, I had it was a discussion of chairman. The chairman of Chelsea, the chairman of Liverpool. There was someone who called himself the interior CS of Manchester City. And luckily, I don't have that interior guy, interior CS guy. But guys, I'm your host, Ronald Zola. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We started the week. City were on top. They've ended the weekend number third. Arsenal and Tottenham have climbed up. Chelsea got their successive win, the second successive win of the season. Manchester United needed a miracle from somebody called McTominay to get 3 points. Mukoma, starting with you. How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool, calm, and I think we are very impressed, very impressed with how things are going. And as we say, when it's good, it's good. So you can be sure we are very happy. First, as a national fan, and two, as a person who is praying for this team called Manchester United. I'm aware they've had the one slogan for a very long time. Their stadium is called the Theatre of Dreams. Unfortunately, at one point it's turning out to be a grave of dreams. But anyway, this weekend they did well, which is impressive. And we also have this other team. We also have this other team that they are trying. They are trying, the Blues, they are trying. And they are proving like they can be better. Now they are reviving dreams. Yeah, so we are okay. We are okay.
A man from the grave of dreams. What do you have to say?
You know, first, let me comment on the slogan. Slogan is just a slogan. Slogan never changes. It's only the photos that changes. Now, with our graves or a grave of dreams, we managed to come from one goal down to win 2-1, courtesy of one player who just came in. The only team which can have a super sub is only Manchester United that can come in and change everything. You know, somebody turning a whole match within 4 minutes, that is not a miracle. That is some good show. Not a miracle.
You already said it's a miracle.
No.
I started by saying it's miraculous, or you confirmed it's a miracle.
It depends with you. If you see it as a miracle, it is not something that happens once in Manchester
But you
United.
guys, you've really celebrated.
No, we've celebrated because it
But
was
for the first
it was
time,
some
for
good
the first
times.
time, it's
Proper
always good.
celebration from
So you didn't want us to celebrate?
Today on this table, I think we are going to discuss the positives because
My
when
question
I see
is-
when I see Manchester United fans happy, Chelsea fan, I know
for me,
fine, happy.
no.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
For Manchester United, I knew you are not doing good. You are down. But I didn't know I didn't know that you can be down to a point of celebrating a win against Brentford and celebrating that manner.
Excuse
Celebrate
me,
is
we
good.
did not celebrate a win against Brentford. We only celebrated a win that came in 4 minutes. Get the difference? Yes, not from Brentford.
So it was the manner in which
Nah.
that win came.
We celebrated the win that happened in 4 minutes. Not that we celebrated a win against Brentford.
So you celebrated a win, only that you celebrated in the manner
A
that the win
win
came.
that came in 4 minutes.
You can understand
Yes.
them. You can understand them. Being
It is not
gloomy.
about understanding. Did you watch the match?
Yes, I did.
Did you enjoy it?
No. Why
You didn't
should
enjoy
I?
it?
Should
Why
I?
were you
should
watching
I? You've heard my opening statement.
Did you watch the match?
Manchester is no longer a theatre of dreams.
But
it's a
it
dream
is
of
our
dreams.
team, it is our club,
It's a-
and we enjoy
it's a
whatever
dream
is
of dreams.
happening there.
The reason I'm saying you guys had every reason to enjoy, because you had a whole 89 plus minutes, very gloomy, blaming right and left, talking what you could talk, saying what is wrong and this is wrong,
It is
that
allowed
is wrong.
as a football
Then
fan.
things change in just 4 minutes. So you
4
had
minutes.
every reason.
No,
to
the
be
biggest
happy.
club in the world changes things in 4
It's,
minutes.
it's no longer a big, it's no longer a big club.
It's
no longer a
okay.
big
It
club.
did. Ask
Because if we
Brentford.
can debate-
Just for
if
a
we can
moment, we are
debate
coming
that-
back from that. I want to urge our fans or our followers, those who watch us, if you're watching, maybe it's the first time you are meeting us, you're seeing this channel, please don't leave without subscribing, liking and sharing this video. So, that's the only support we are asking from you guys, and spread the gospel of Football Fans Clan. We all love football and we all love talking. So, I hope you are now through.
Through
You need a time because you are all saying nothing.
Yeah, we were warming up for the show.
Yeah.
We were just warming up for the show.
Okay, now I know you are
Yes,
now prepared. You
we
want
are
to say
ready,
something.
ready for the show.
So, guys, I want you to maybe to talk about this. What might be happening with City, with Liverpool? City and Liverpool were the two sides that, at the beginning of this season, they looked like they are the ones that will push this thing to the wire. And then, and you can talk generally how the weekend was and how could this season how could this season turn out? Because we see a team is doing better, looking red hot, beating every team left, right, and center, until to the point that you feel now this is a title challenge, a serious title challenge. 1 week later, things change. The way Newcastle in the first match beat someone 5-0, everybody was scared about Newcastle. The 3 matches that followed, they lost, went down, and now they are back. We've seen Liverpool pushing City, and they have dropped points in the last 2 matches. Now they're around position for them. You see Manchester City. So by the start of this weekend, a round of matches, they were on top. Just 1 weekend. Okay, in fact, they have lost 2 matches back to back. The Premier League matches back to back. If you add Carabao one, it's already 3 matches they've lost. Now, how do you think this season is turning out to be? Can we take Tottenham and Arsenal seriously because they're on top of the table, or it's just temporarily and now things might change? Just it has changed for City and Liverpool.
I'll go team by team. For Liverpool, they've been quite unlucky in a number of matches. They've had some funny decisions which did affect them. But all the same, they've remained consistent. They had a draw yesterday against Brighton. And I think they're doing well. So you can't rule them out. They're still competitors. They're still title contenders. And they'll fight for this title. And knowing Klopp who he is not a guy who leaves it at any point. He will want to go all the way, probably to the end. Looking at Manchester City being a champion, you expect that they'll have tough matches, even against the lowest ranked, even against Luton. It will be just a tough match for Manchester City. Unless they start by scoring, unless they score, before they score, that match will still be very tough for Manchester City, because any team prepares knowing they are going to play a champion. The moment you prepare knowing you're going to play a champion, even the preparation itself, the mental the mental aspect or the physical aspect of the game, and other things put together, they are all done differently. Because each team knows if you win against a champion, that's enough to boost your morale, that's enough to boost your confidence going into other matches. It's too early to call, too early to call. But I think they are doing well so far. They've not lost any match. They only dropped points against which team? I think they dropped points against Fulham.
Yes.
And I think they dropped 4 points against Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's okay for them. And given that they are having a number of injuries, and they're not serious injuries, and looking at it yesterday, Martinelli coming back and boosting the team to win the match. So you can only say that Arsenal are on track, but let's see how far they can push. How far they can push, because looking at last season, they had a backlash towards the end. So hopefully they start well and end well. We now need to see that consistency. It's something that probably Arteta knows, and being the master he is, I know he's ready to push that to the end. Talking about Tottenham and Postecoglou, I think the guy has done some good job at Tottenham. Give him credit. Give him credit. No one expected Tottenham to be a better side this season, but I think to where they are today, so many people, even fans, are asking questions.
Me being one of them.
But it does not rule out Arsenal being the kings of the kings of London. Chelsea, as I've always said, they still need time. But now it's now coming back to back. I think they won last match. They won yesterday for 4-1. I think they are now we want to look at, are they going to be consistent? Are they going to win more matches? If you ask me, I'll say yes. But unfortunately, they are meeting Arsenal in the next match. So you can expect probably something different from what you've seen. I'll not talk about Manchester because I'll allow him to talk about it. But I'm happy. They are now coming up. They are now coming up. But very important to say, as the legend himself, Ibrahimovic, said, that you look at Ten Hag and his history. He has a history of managing young players. He has a history of bringing players from this other. So he does not have a history of managing these veterans. Veterans, people who are very professional, they've been in professional for long.
The stars.
The stars. He has a problem managing them. I don't know why, but I think there's still a chance for him at Ajax. Ajax, they're doing badly. They need him as it stands. Otherwise, if he continues staying at Manchester, now he will be posting mixed results. Win today, you're beaten tomorrow. Remember, by yesterday, if they were to be beaten in the last match, last Saturday, if they were to be beaten, that would have been the third or fourth consecutive match being beaten at Old Trafford. That's when I opened my statement. I said, it's no longer the theatre of dreams. It's becoming the grave of dreams. Grave of dreams. Because now, what you expect to come out of it is not coming out of it.
So, Mr. Lawrence,
Yeah.
I think you have had your friend. And just to be honest, Old Trafford used to be a theatre of dreams. Anybody going to Old Trafford used to be scared. Because United could butcher you. But at this time, everybody goes at Old Trafford confidently that he can get something there. If not a draw, a win. I think going by the result, Enock calling it the grave of dreams, he could be right. But I think you don't have to dispute that. But what's your take?
First of all, what I can say is the league as it stands, all of it from number 1 to number 20, it's a joke. Because seeing Arsenal and Tottenham topping is a really big joke. These are the people who can never win the league, and they are there topping. People who win the league are Manchester United, Liverpool, and Man City. And Arsenal topping, Tottenham topping, it's a joke. And the whole joke has now gone down and narrowed to some other teams. The way Manchester United, the biggest team ever in this world, is playing, it's also a joke. Coming and losing, from 8 matches, you lose 4, and you expect to be called a big team. only to fans, it remains that. But to some other related fans of other teams, they'll see it as a joke. The way he's just saying a grave of dreams. You know, it is not usual for Manchester to lose 4 matches in 8 matches played. Not usual. But it has happened. Now, when you see that, you see something is wrong. But the same Manchester United, when you come here and tell us Ten Hag cannot manage these big players, and he did that last season, we saw what he did. In fact, it was so promising to an extent that we expected something bigger this season, if not of what has just happened in these 4 matches that he lost. Ten Hag was so promising. Whatever the turnaround has just come, I'll repeat it. There is a problem maybe in that dressing room. People are so sluggish. Casemiro is no longer the Casemiro we know. Rashford is just somebody else. The Rashford we saw last season is not the one we are seeing. When you come and talk of the Sancho is nowhere, Marshall nowhere. He's demoralized by this new signing of Hojland. Now, every team is broken. It is not about Manchester United, an individual player or something. So not unless they call a crisis meeting, that back room, Manchester United will continue losing. And as you asked, the theater of dreams, everybody comes there knowing he can get.
Used to come.
Wait, last season we went for 18 matches unbeaten at home. 18 in all competitions. Is that not a scare to you?
But we are
Whatever
playing,
is
we are
just
playing
happening
this
right
season.
now,
We are not
whatever
in last
is happening, we've just played at home 4 matches, and we've lost 2. Why are you thinking we are losing every match?
So that's a 50%.
That's a 50%, not bad. If it could be something 60-20, maybe we could be complaining. Just 2. And we lost against
Crystal Palace.
yes, Crystal, which just came in and had some good luck. They were outplayed, but they won the match. And when you come here and telling me we are losing at home, everybody wants to come and get a share. Who is that?
Let me say something. And
Yeah.
I want to dispute this thing, whatever you're calling a joke.
It's just a joke.
That's what
Arsenal
I want.
and Tottenham
I want to
topping.
dispute whatever you're saying a joke.
It's a joke.
Because
It's
it
a
has
joke.
been, you can't tell me, Manchester City winning the league year in, year out, that's now better.
We are used to.
You can't tell me the way Bayern Munich has won leagues back to back in Germany. That's what we want.
We are used to.
The Premier League has moved from the big team mentality to a team of 20 Premier League teams that are competing. Today, if you're not careful, you will beat Crystal Palace on Wednesday at Old Trafford. Crystal Palace will come back on a Saturday and hammer you.
Is that not a
Today,
joke?
it's not a joke. That's what
You've
what
hammered
Premier
him
League is
at
made
Old
of.
Trafford.
That's what it's made
You've
of.
hammered him 3
No,
goals.
no.
He comes on Saturday, he hammers you 1.
Yes.
Is that not a joke?
That's not the seriousness we're talking
No,
about.
the seriousness.
Because tell me the logic.
Okay.
Tell me the
Now-
logic.
now,
tell me the logic.
let me now-
You're beating somebody midweek, same field, same players, same coach, same everything. Everything remains constant. The only thing that is changing is the competition. You hammer somebody 3. In fact, the other one was a knockout. This one is a league. You hammer someone 3. The same person, same players comes back to you on Saturday and hammers you. Is that a joke?
It's okay.
not a joke.
It's okay, guys. Let's come back to this weekend. The biggest match of the week was the Arsenal versus Manchester City at Emirates. What's your feeling about the result of the match and how the match was played and the end product? Did it reflect how the game was?
Going by that game, this is what I can say. I watched the game. Both teams were like 50-50 when it comes in terms of play. But the 50-50 made Man City to struggle. Why? Because they've been outsmarting Arsenal year in, year out. But now, with the red card of Rodri, the injury of De Bruyne made everything a hullabaloo, and Arsenal came in celebrating. Remember, they were at home. They had all the advantage. They had welcomed Martinelli back. the squad, despite the fact that they had no Saka and Timber, the two guys who have no that impact when it comes to scoring. But the ball players of Manchester City, they were missing. That means the whole team was missing. And as you can see, Man City has been winning, not because they are playing better, but because they were meeting some Champions League teams. That is why they were. But when they came to a litmus test yesterday, that is when they realized, oh, we really need Rodri in this team. If not Rodri, we really need De Bruyne. And these guys capitalized on that. As much as the match looked even, they came in and had that deflection. Then they carried the day. Now, they never scored. They had that deflection, you know. So if only Arsenal could have scored in that match, I could have really praised you for the first time this year.
Mr. Enock,
But
before you chip in,
unfortunately, you couldn't score.
I just want
You were
to-
playing with both left legs.
Okay,
That much.
for me,
you know?
before Enock give us his views, for me, I don't want to buy that narrative of
No,
Man
the
City.
left legs.
Okay, of Man City.
Yes.
Missed De Bruyne and
Don't
Rodri.
pretend you don't want to buy
No,
that.
no, I don't want to buy that because
Just be realistic.
just because I want to be realistic. Everybody is saying Man City has a team that can field two sides. Maybe team A and team B of Man City can still win the league.
Not everybody.
That will
It
win
is
the
you
title.
who used to say that.
Now, only two players that are missing in Manchester City.
The best
right now,
players.
Just like any other team can miss one or two players through injuries or through that suspension. So does it mean that if Man City lose Rodri and De Bruyne, then they lose against Wolverhampton, they lose against Arsenal? Now that means that Man City is just an ordinary team.
Of
It's
course,
just-
it is ordinary.
I'm banning.
Yeah,
Banning.
now
It is ordinary. You want
You know, you can't start very well. Huh?
Do you have a fire
can't-
extinguisher here?
You can't start very well, analyzing the game very well. When I start following you, then you decide like
Why were you following?
away from facts. It's not right. It's
No,
not right. It's
did
not
you
right.
score?
It's not right. Just take
Maybe
the
we start
facts.
from there. Did you score?
What made the difference in the game?
Did you score?
What was the difference?
The own goal.
Why did Arsenal got 3 points? Why did
The own
Arsenal
goal.
get 3 points?
The own goal really costed.
You're asking if we
Manchester
did
City.
score. What earns you 3 points?
The deflection.
Was
The
it
own
a score?
goal. The own goal, man.
Is it a score?
Somebody's
Thank you.
face.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Number one, there are two things here. I totally agree with you. You look at the ball possession between Arsenal and Manchester City. Man City had 50. Arsenal had around 50. Had around 52. Arsenal had around 48 in terms of ball possession. That is an even game. They all played very well. Arsenal came into this game, as I've said before, knowing like Man City is a good club. They play ball. They know ball. It's a grouping of players who can field different sides on the pitch and can win against any side. But they've lost matches back to back. He's giving me a reason like they didn't field Rodri, they didn't field De Bruyne. It's true. Rodri and De Bruyne have direct impact on that team. When they are there, the team is different. When they're not there, the team is not different. But this is a challenge. When Saka is in Arsenal's team, that team is different. How we play, how we score, that's different. When that team, yet looking at it I even wonder, Arteta of all the people decided to field Jorginho. Instead of Partey is on the bench, you bring in Jorginho. So there's nothing like advantage.
What do you mean?
Arsenal
Jorginho?
missed Saka too.
We missed Saka. He didn't field Jorginho. He didn't field. In fact, look at the substitutions. You just decide like you can't bring in any other person. You bring in Havertz.
So who else did you want him to
But I
bring?
think City was just poor. They can't blame
Yesterday's
it on
game,
anyone
you
missing
can't.
anybody.
You
No,
can't,
they missed
you
those two
can't.
guys.
You can't. You
They
can't
missed
apportion
them.
it to individual players.
No,
you can't apportion to individual players.
the truth is,
The game is Arsenal played their match. Their plan worked out. How Arteta wanted that game to be played, it was played, and we won it by whatever thing you said, whether deflection or whatever it is. I've looked at this story this morning. Why he brought in Martinelli? It is Martinelli's request that made when they were still thinking and talking to Martinelli, telling him how the game is difficult and it's too early for him to come in because of his injury. And Martinelli insisted like he wants to come in. He wants to come in. So you look at Martinelli coming in, that changed the whole game. the way Arsenal was playing, we were very slow on the flanks. We were very slow on the flanks. Because whenever Saka is playing in that team, Saka is a player who can attract 2 to 3 defenders. He can attract 2 to 3 players around at any given time, creating spaces for other players. And if he does not attract these players, then he himself as an individual can change the game. But Saka was not there. Same thing to De Bruyne. His creativity made it like Saliba now becomes the best defender in the world. Saliba becomes the best defender in the world. You can underline that. You can mark that. Because it's not the first time, not the second time, not the third time he's making Haaland look useless, making Haaland look like he doesn't know ball. Assuming he's playing against Varane, he's playing against Maguire, he's playing against those Chelsea defenders. How do you call them? The disasters of this world, and those are funny names. Haaland would score at any given minute. But now, give it to Arsenal that this is a team that is becoming more solid and solid. This is a team that is proving day in, day out. This is a team that is proving beyond any doubt. And if they continue with the same trend, the only thing they need is consistency to go to the end and even win this league. I've said it's too early to call, but they have what it takes to win this league. Yeah.
Which team is that?
Arsenal. The Gunners.
What about last season? They never had what it takes?
Last season is gone. Last season is gone. They didn't win. We are now in this season. You remember at this point last season, Arsenal was not on top of, it wasn't on top of the table. Arsenal just came on top of the table in second leg, probably when the matches were around second leg, when we had around 10 matches to go. That's when Arsenal went on top of the table. So this time round, they are coming on top of the table. We are not even on top of the table. Arsenal is at number 2 because of goal difference and whatever.
Arsenal came on top of the table towards the 10
Yes.
matches.
This guy is a joke.
Yes, you can confirm.
Arsenal topped the
There's
whole
a time they
season.
did top, but they did
They topped the whole season.
No.
Now let me bring you back.
So
And, correct you somewhere.
10 matches take 247 days.
10 matches.
10 matches take 247 days. You have to lie to us, my friend.
Okay, this is what I want to correct this guy when you're talking of Haaland and Saliba. Man City had no possession when it comes to midfield. And when you look at the statistics, Man City only had some 4 goal attempts. 4. The whole match, 4.
Only one was dangerous.
And 1 was on target. 1. This means the movement of that ball from the midfield to the striking, it was nowhere. So there was no way Haaland could go back to the midfield and fetch the ball to come and score. That means the midfield of Manchester City was nowhere. And when I'm talking of Rodri and De Bruyne, I mean that midfield did not click because of the 2 guys. When you inserting Kovacic there with the Lewis, the young boy, and you want them to outsmart the Declan Rice, Odegaard, and the other guy, the Jorginho, you're joking. Even if you give these guys, that is why the Wolves beaten this game. The movement from the midfield to the striking, it was not clicking. And you expect Haaland to have those touches. Where on earth will he find the touches? Where?
It only tells
the fact is, without the movement from the midfield of Manchester City, all the balls that have been scored by Haaland, they used to come from the midfield. And when the midfield is off, switched off by Declan Rice, switched off by Jorginho, switched off by Odegaard, you don't expect any goal.
And I like
from
the
these
word you're
guys.
using.
It is true.
Switching
It is
them
true.
off.
They switched them off. They outsmarted
Switching them off.
I'm talking
Switch them off.
switching them off.
Arteta is a master.
It's not Arteta.
Arteta is a master.
Man City had no option.
Switch them off.
Who had the switch?
Arteta.
No, it is not Arteta.
Put it on Declan Rice.
The-
Put it on Jorginho.
Look here.
Put it.
Lewis,
Switch them off.
Lewis,
Yes.
Kovacic.
Switch them
You expect
off.
them
Switch them
to
off.
come out and outsmart Declan Rice. You switch them
Why are you not
off.
mentioning Bernardo Silva?
No, Bernardo Silva was playing on the flanks. He was
Why
not
not
even
mentioning
assisting the
him?
midfield.
Why not mentioning
No, he was off position. So the switching off is what helped
Switch.
Arsenal. And in
Switch
fact,
them off.
to
That
make
is
the
the
matters
word. They were
worse,
switched
to
off.
make the matters worse, the own goal. Ah,
Okay.
Pressure.
disappointing.
It's not an on goal. Pressure.
So disappointing.
It's done. It's done for City. Now we had talked about Manchester United, winning in the last minute. Another match on Saturday was Chelsea against Burnley. I think for the first time in the longest time, if I can remember, for the first time Chelsea conceded a goal and went on to win that match. Chelsea has a very bad history when it comes to conceding fast. They don't come up and maybe they can only maybe equalize and end the match in a draw, or maybe mostly they lose when they concede fast. But this time they conceded fast and came back to win the match 4-1. Was it Burnley that was so poor, or is Chelsea is rebuilding?
Chelsea are yet to meet a real challenge. They are yet to meet a real team, so that we look at what they are doing. But be it as it is, looking at how Chelsea has been playing, they're improving match by match. They're improving match by match. Give it to Poch, and as I've always said, that Poch is going to build a team at Chelsea, a monster of a team at Chelsea, because if they are the tools, he has them. If they are the players to deliver, Chelsea has the players. But now Chelsea did sign young players who have so many things to deal with. So many things to deal with: their mental, their physical, their game in general, and where they came from. Some of those boys looked like stars. They were like on top of they were just top there. They were used to be treated like stars. Now coming at Chelsea, you a collection of stars, and the young boy. So you expect there could be a problem. But Poch has done a good job. He continues to do the good job. And whether they'll struggle in the coming matches or not, but I'm sure Chelsea is going to be one of the best teams around probably next season. And I'm sure even this season, you can't just write them off. They are a force, especially in the second leg. I expect Chelsea to be one of the best sides in the league.
Laurent, what's your take on that match and how Chelsea is performing?
No, the only thing I can say here is the mentality. And, the players have started accepting the fact that Chelsea is one of the biggest clubs, and the underperformance is not suitable for them. So they are trying to sanitize their name. Somebody like Sterling, Enzo, and name them. They want to sanitize their names, and that is why they are bringing that mentality that you score fast, but you don't guarantee a win. So we will come back and hit you back. So what Chelsea is trying to do is just trying to build on the weakness they've been having. They've had challenges, and they're trying to come up with a way to take over. So we are yet to see the best from Chelsea. And my friend here just told me some few minutes ago that every team in Premier League, it's a big team. And now he's telling me Chelsea is yet to meet some good teams. Which teams? From Spain? Or from Venezuela?
They're yet to
From
meet a
Venezuela? You told me everybody in Premier League is serious. And now Chelsea is yet to meet a serious team. So which team? From Venezuela? Or from where? Japan?
The Brentford. They had to meet Brentford.
No.
They had to meet West Ham. They had to meet.
That means there are some weak teams in the Premier League, right?
I'm not saying. I'm saying probably teams in the top 10, as it stands in the standings.
So let us wrap it up by on some of the teams that are expected to bring some troubles to the top teams. Most of those teams played yesterday. We saw Brighton draw with Liverpool, Newcastle again draw with the West Ham, 2-2 in both matches. Aston Villa again drew their match, isn't it? So these are the types of teams that are always a threat to the top teams. When you meet Aston Villa, you meet Brighton, you meet West Ham, you meet Liverpool. Liverpool is a top team. So you can't classify them there. But they are in the Europa League anyway. These are their class. So how do you take these teams and how they perform this weekend? Does it mean that in this team, no one wants to lose the match?
Let me tell you something before he probably says it's a joke again. To win the league, to win the Premier League this season, it will depend on how you collect points from the teams in the likes of Aston Villa, West Ham, Newcastle, Brighton. Just to mention but a few, you can add Brentford.
Yes.
The number of points you collect from these teams, that is what is going to make the difference in this league.
Exactly.
Because you're meeting them, these are looking like serious sides, are looking like serious competitors. They are playing in the Europa League, they are playing in the Conference League. These are teams that are facing any bigger, another team to watch is Wolves. These teams are coming in head side. They don't fear any team. They don't have the small team mentality. Whenever they meet amongst themselves, they'll drop points, but they'll be giant killers. They are going to decide who will win this league. You collect maximum points against West Ham. You collect maximum points against Brentford. You collect maximum points against Brighton. Then you're good to go for the league. You're good to go for the league.
Laurent,
Yeah.
finish up.
Winning a league does not have a room for losing or drawing. You need to get maximum points. That is when you are guaranteed of winning. Whether it is Brentford, whether it is Man City, you just come here heads high, beat them, get your points, call it a day. Now, when we come talk about West Ham and Newcastle, West Ham were at home. Newcastle were red hot. And given the fact that West Ham has tried and played in the conference, now they are in Europa League. So they classify themselves as one of the biggest teams from England, right? Because they are now playing abroad.
European football, yeah.
Yes, now they have nothing to lose. Newcastle just beat PSG the other day. So these guys were coming to meet some good team, and they had to prepare.
Yeah.
Brighton the same way. They are coming to meet Liverpool. Liverpool, they are with him with the Europa League.
League.
So there is nothing new when it comes to Liverpool. And talking of Brighton. So it's like we are same. Let us just come, show our talents, let us see the points. Because the way you saw those goals being scored, this one scores, he comes equalize, scores, equalize, and the game was so even. So in short, yesterday's fixture was all about the same level of teams. And there was nothing new from those results. A draw was a fair one because Brighton, Liverpool, almost the same level as per now. West Ham, Newcastle, also almost the same level. It was only a shame if Manchester United could have lost their match because they were playing at home and they were playing against a team that is not even average. It is below par. So we can't consider it as an average team. Brentford and Arsenal, they are lying on the same page, and they can't be some average team.
The good thing. Let me remind you before we end this discussion.
You want to remind
Brentford,
me?
if
I've
we are
not
talking about
forgotten
Brentford and Arsenal, we are talking about Manchester United. Remember, just a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal won against Brentford at their backyard.
How many goals?
1-0.
No. And we won them against them how many goals?
Just relax. Just
How
chill.
many
Just
goals?
relax. Remember, in this league,
You should just finish the
Arsenal
statement.
won against Manchester United. So when we are talking about Arsenal, we are talking about a team that is above Brentford. We are talking about a team that is above Manchester United.
A point of correction.
We are talking about a team that is struggling.
Wait.
We are talking about a
Point
team
of
that
correction.
does not have direction, that is clueless, and their manager is leader at Ajax.
A point of correction. When you score against Onana, it doesn't mean you've scored against
Who
Manchester
bought
United.
Onana?
No, I didn't.
Let me remind you.
I didn't buy Onana.
Let me remind you.
Did I
There's
buy
a time-
Remind us
there's
as
a
you give
time-
your
there's
closing
a
remarks.
Did I buy him?
There's a time I told this guy. There's a time I told this guy. The way you are sending off the gear,
Yes.
you will regret.
Okay.
The way you
Did
let
I-
the gear go,
Did I buy Onana?
it's now haunting you.
Did I buy Onana?
It's you who used to tell us Onana is coming. You did celebrate. You told us the streets were not
No,
even
celebration
calm.
should be
Everybody
done,
was
you
not.
know.
We could not even
The
close.
same
we could not
guy
even
who has
open our
written
ears.
off Jorginho
You are talking
celebrated
high
here
of
about
Onana.
Jorginho. And now when you
Okay,
celebrated
guys,
about Jorginho,
as we
right?
close, talking of
You
Onana,
did.
But Jorginho is working for us. He's playing for us.
And Onana
a
is
few errors,
is
but we are
also
helping
working,
him.
you know.
We are helping him cope.
Listen.
Who is helping who?
So
Jorginho is
the way
helping
you
Arsenal.
release, the way Manchester released De Gea,
Listen, I want to
going
close
to
this.
haunt you.
I want to close this. And as you are talking of Onana, I saw yesterday your goalkeeper, that is Raya, playing the kind of football Manchester United signed Onana to play.
They are trying to copy.
He had much of the ball yesterday in yesterday's match. In fact, he the one who he really helped Arsenal, and I think he's the one who was slowing down Man City
The
attacks,
pace.
the pace of the game
Yes.
most of the time. But anyway, that's it and done.
That's
I'm
what we
closing.
signed Raya to do. So
Copying.
he's doing exactly, not
Copying
copying.
Onana.
You can't compare Arsenal to
How can you copy Onana, my friend? That is why Onana is
Onana has
Okay,
conceded
guys.
10 goals. Raya is
Let's meet again next time. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Bye bye.
the chairman of Chelsea.